your code and your ticker on this network, and you can't stop it from being traded.
Right.
And so there's a derivative, and then if there's liquidity bonding the prices together, so if, let's say you have Chainlink on Ethereum, and then after launch, price bounces around a while, but I bet that over time that these prices will move similarly.
Right.
I think that the Link ticker on Pulsechain is likely to move similarly to the Link ticker on Ethereum.
Right. Just because of the bridge, right? And
well, because they're bonded by the liquidity.
Right.
And then it's the same code with the same ticker. Now, do you want to pay $100 or $300 to trade it on Ethereum, or do you want to pay a penny to trade it over here? And we already know this answer because they're doing it on other networks as well.
Yeah.
People do trading on alternate networks, and then we're the one that you don't like. Your coins are already here. You don't even have to bridge over. You've already got your free coins here. You can already access them by changing one setting in your MetaMask. It's awesome.
Dude, it sounds
well.
It sounds pretty awesome.
Well, that's the trick. That's the magic. Is you launch this whole network with all these new coins. How do you get those new coins to be valuable?
Right.
But by not letting anyone ever stop the trading, by having the same tickers, and by giving people a reason to back the value of the things they got free.
Right.
By rewarding them with a yield farming token. It's like a giant vampire attack, basically. It's a giant vampire.
Hey everybody, and welcome back. Are you enjoying yourself out there? Volatility, we expected that, and we're getting it. Are Pulsechain markets undervalued? We're going to have a quick look at that topic today. Cool for school. All right, let's get into it. We got Lies Beneath in there. Hello, how are you today? Very good. Hex, Pulse incentive for the win, 100%. That's how we're backing Maxi on the strategy. What else there? Unprotected Hex in house. Guys on this channel will be future whales. I like that one. Yeah, if you're accumulating the old Pulsechain and, of course, getting some of the other cool things on some of the other chains that we talk about, yeah, you certainly will be looking like a whale. So that's pretty cool. Lies, Wookie's in the house as well. Lies is back. He's back again. Yeah, big shout out to Lies Beneath. Always doing some awesome stuff. We got Property View in the house there. Enjoying your updates. Best crypto channel says Property View. I appreciate your support there, man. Hope you're having a good time yourself. And we got Honda in the house there. We got a Tangang coming in now, have we? Honda Trump AI. Okay. And we got some Tangang oranges from the looks of it. Big shout out to the Tangang out there. Behave. Oh, behave, we say. Oh, behave. All right, let's get into it, folks. Let's go into start off with the stock market. We got the results for You Got It Monday. So the beginning of the week. Stock market today down in a record close as cyclical stocks shine amid tech rotation. So rotating capital out of tech, which has been doing very, very well, into cyclical stocks. So the industrials and things like that. So here we got the Dow Jones is up 0.16%, 65 points to 41,240. We got the S&P is down 0.3%, 18 points to 5,616. And the NASDAQ with all the tech companies we've seen is down 0.8%, 148 points down to 17,729. So that is a bit of mixed results there. Good for the industrial cyclical stocks. We got the US dollar index, man. Look at this thing, 100.74. Remember, it used to be up to like 104, 105. It is down quite a bit there, and just down slightly today. Moving to commodities, which benefit from a devalued dollar. We've got West Texas at the moment is down 0.3%, 26 cents, $77. Brent oil down a couple of cents to $80 there. And what else? We got gold at the moment, which has been doing really, really well. Is up $4.30, just below 0.2%, $2,550. Isn't that fantastic? And we got silver there up down 0.5%, I should say, 16 cents to $30.29, but over $30. Really, really good for silver. And potentially, if Rich Dad, Poor Dad's right, we might get to $75 to $125 this cycle for silver, especially with interest rate cuts and further devaluation in the US dollar. Could really get pretty crazy there for those commodities. Now, we do have NVIDIA data's coming out, so that's the number one, right? Waiting for that. We've also got some Apple unveiling new product launch dates there. So NVIDIA earnings this week will be very key for the tech, the big seven, as they say. So we'll be looking forward to that at the moment. So that's kind of where we are. Let's jump over to the Fed and have a quick look at that before we move on to the crypto market. We've got the Fed at the moment is coming up in 3 weeks, 1 day and 17 hours, or 18 hours really, and that's on the 18th September, so just over 3 weeks away, and we'll be looking forward to that. At the moment, the market is expecting a 25 basis point cut at 25 basis points or a quarter of 1 percentage point. So that would take us from 5.5% on the federal funds rate down to 5.25. That is kind of where we are at the moment for September. Let's jump over to the crypto markets. We've got Bitcoin volatility, like we say, is just below $63,000, down 2.3%. The dominance is at 55.14, so it's gone up, the Bitcoin dominance there. Looking at, let me just move over here. Looking at the Ethereum, we're down 2.5% to $2,688. And what else is ADA is down quite a bit there, 5% at $36.7. We've got the Chang upgrade. I'm not sure if there's any news about that that's affected ADA. We've got Chang upgrade at some stage. I did put in the data a couple of days ago. Can't remember what that was, but we'll try and refresh our minds maybe tomorrow. XRP, Tron down a couple of percentage points. Everything's down just a couple of percentage points there. Amongst the leaders, BNB down 4.25%. So just a bit of a retrace here. Moving closer into Bitcoin, the chart itself is on Coinbase. This is our per view here. This is on the daily chart, actually. Sometimes have the hourly. You can see we had our nice little uptrend here for Bitcoin, got up to $65,000. We just had a bit of a retrace here in the day. That's just finished the scandal. So we went from 64,500 down to 62,800. And we've currently got a brand new candle opening, which has only just been open for 7 minutes. And here we are at 62,877. We're above the 50-day, which is the yellow line. We're above the blue line, the 200-day moving averages. So it's really cool. We're still holding up that golden cross trend. So, everything's not too bad. We zoom out a bit further. That is our bullish trend there. We've been consolidating this new range. The range there being above pretty much, well, I guess, depending on where you want to take it, but let's say 57,000. That's kind of where we are at the moment. So kind of cool. We are expecting volatility. We're coming into September. See this red line here, horizontal. Normally September is a pullback month, but we're in a Bitcoin halving year. Bitcoin halving year with the Bitcoin and Ethereum ETFs operating. So this could be a bit more positive. And we also have interest rates coming out in the 18th September. So will this be a red month? Good chance that we'll have volatility in this month, but we're still holding up pretty well. And if we get through, we're just about 4 days left of August. We're almost in September. So yeah, maybe some more volatility in September. And then, of course, game on, right? We might get a bullish move on the 18th September up to the right there. So, and that's with the US election coming up on the 5th of November. And things are going very well for the Trump alliance there. So we're looking forward to that. Trump candidacy, a lot of things coming out. A lot of Democrats now coming, at least liberal Democrats, moderate Democrats coming out into the Trump alliance there. And of course, it's now a unity party. People calling it a unity party, not the uni party, but the unity party. And of course, with the Kennedy in there and everything else, it's really starting to move. Was it Tulsi Gabbard today? There's going to be more Democrats throwing them support because the Democrat Party is so far left. Now, the interesting thing about the DNC conference was that they hardly had any of their talking points. Right? They tried to pretend they're as conservative as possible, apart from their abortion or mass murder of young babies that are not yet born to the world. That was about it. Everything else was they're trying to taper down, be real conservative because they're trying to get all the middle ground, right? And then when they get into power, then they betray everybody, right? That's what they do. So that's the little snake Democrats there. So that's the US there on the 5th of November. And as I say, this is the most a pivotal election for this whole century ahead of us. I kid you not, because if they lose that, then the globalist, socialist, progressives will take permanent control of all the systems in the West. And that won't be fun. There'll be wars. They'll send your children to wars and all sorts of crazy stuff. It's going to be absolutely madhouse. They're going to try and get children consent to do all sorts of terrible things, and it's going to be bad. And so here we are at the moment sitting there. So it's a crucial for freedom and decency. It's also going to be crucial for crypto, right? Because Trump is a pro-crypto president. So kind of cool. And we're expecting to have 3 interest rate pivots in the year as well. So September, October, and December, and maybe maybe 75 to basis points to 125 basis points, something like that. All right, so that's kind of where we are at the moment on Bitcoin. Now Ethereum at the moment is this on the daily too. So we obviously had a bit of a pump and a bit of a retrace the last 2 days, not 1 day. And we're currently sitting here at 2,885. Yesterday we're up at 2,763 there. We've also got this death cross right on Ethereum as opposed to Bitcoin, which is actually looking really bullish from that point of view. So hopefully we'll get dragged up. Hopefully this will be a short-lived. Maybe by the time we get out the end of September, this will be a short-lived death cross, and we'll move back into a golden cross for Ethereum. And there we go. So fingers crossed on that. That moves us to meme coins. Meme coins, of course. Let's have a look here. We've got Dogecoin at the top there, $15.4 billion, down up 4.4% for the week, but down 4% today. So that's a bit of a negative retrace there. Remember, these are all leverage plays, right? We got for the most part. So we got SHIB at the moment up 10% for the week, down 3.5%. So there's some big movers. Dog with Hat, big mover, 25% for the week, down 7.5%, 24 hours. Floki up 29% for the week, down 2% at the moment on 24 hours. The other big mover, Popcat on Solana, up 65% for the week. That's been the real biggest mover in the last week, down 6% at the moment. And unfortunately, this new one here, Dogs. I don't know why Binance listed Dogs, but you know it is what it is. You know, trying to play around with the brand name of Dog, if you know what I mean, on Bitcoin. So this is a real corporate piece of thing, but you know the market's going to value it 619 million. So down 25%. And that's most of that's in the last 24 hours. So there we go. That's just been launched, I believe. We'll come back to that in a minute. What's the other one there? Pepe Coin up 57%. So we had a couple of big movers, right? So Popcat, Solana, Floki, Dog with Hat. Those have been big movers in the top 25, or at least in the top 12, 14. And then Dog with Runes, the one we're backing for the win, up 7.5% for the week, but down 12.3% for the last 24 hours because it's the number one meme coin on Bitcoin on Runes, right? So, or number one Bitcoin meme on Runes on Bitcoin. How about that? That's a better way of putting it. So that's the play there. And of course, this Dogs one here got a Binance listing. And so let's have a quick look at this chart while we're here. So this is a corporate one, right? It's a corporate play. And this is the chart so far that we've had. That's pretty much similar. Yeah, it's within the 24-hour frame, right? It's only 24-hour, less than 24-hour data at the moment. And it had a big start. 1700th of a penny, come up there. Now it's at 1200th of a penny at the moment. That's the old Dogs there. All right, that leads us on to the real dog, the leader of the pack. All right, is a Dog itself. So here we are on Gate.io, the centralized exchange, which is dominating volume. Often we also look at it on Magic Eden, right, with the decentralized market. But at the moment, you can see we had our breakout. So we've got our breakout. We're coming back to retest, which is often the case. Sometimes we might just continue to zigzag up. Sometimes you come back and retest. So we're basically coming back and retest the log. So that top yellow line is the log. So we break out. We're down at 2900th of a penny. We got all the way up just below 400th of 4/10 of a penny, and we've come back down to 32, which is testing both the horizontal and the angular support there. So hopefully that will act as support, and we can bounce off from there. That's kind of the bullish there. That's definitely a very bullish move for the old Dog. So patience there. No tier one exchanges yet, other than I guess Gate, and we're looking for those like that. So yeah, we'll see where we go from there. That's going to be a big green Gonbo candle. Now the positive about this is that the number of holders in Dog is going up by a couple hundred a day. I mean, it really is impressive number of holders there. So we'll probably talk about more about that tomorrow as well. And of course, if you want to find out more of that detail about this, join our strategy club. It's a private club within the Pulsechain Hex Discord. The link's in the video description. It is a paid Discord. So the Pulsechain Hex Discord is $5 a month, so it's 16 cents a day. But you get access to great information and a great community. The other one, of course, the strategy club is where we go multi-chain. Is $35 a month, so you can join up to that today and get the news flow. All right, that is it on Dog. Let's go to Pulsechain. We're going to get in Pulsechain. So before we do that, let's catch up in the chat there. See who else has jumped in there. Let's go. There, go. Honda says possibly. I'm just no one says Honda. Nice one. We got Tintop in the house there. What's up, Hexkins? Hey, what's up, Hexkins? Hey, good to see Tintop. And Honda says, hope BTC and ETH rally. Pulsechain chills, shake off the last few hands, then set sales. Yeah. Well, we've had a couple of big sellers, possibly related to Rack and Michelle. they've been selling Pulsechain and things. So I think they're pretty much out though. At least one of them's pretty much out. The other one I think still got some left. Honda Trump says we have to appreciate everyone in Tangan for setting memes up. I know people that wanted to Pulsechain for just memes. Yeah, I agree. I agree with you on that. Yeah. What else there? I think the problem is that we're no drama channel on here, so we don't get into drama. But I think they've caused a bit of drama as well. But positive and negative. But people like drama on X. We just try to keep the drama out of this channel, of course. Let's move this market to the upside, says Wookie. I like that. I'll definitely do that. Northman says Pulsechain to 5 cents. I like that. That's a good number. We'll take that. Even Tron is at 12 cents here. Tron is isn't Tron gone up to 16 or something? We need to burn Pulse, says North. Yeah, well, there's project teams. There are influencers and project teams out there looking to find more use cases to get rid of Hex and Pulse and stuff. So I'm sure that will happen over time. And so yeah, no problem there. All right, let's get back into it. Let's get into the topic of the day. Are Pulsechain markets undervalued? And we're going to check out the Pulsechain markets as we do it. So let's go back there. Now, here we are on DeFi Llama, as many of you will know, is got a lot of multi-chain data on it. And of course, you can see at the moment the total value locked in the chains. And yeah, pretty huge. Ethereum, of course, dominating almost 50 billion. Now, you can question some of the numbers and sources and quality of the data, and they do their best. But, there's with Pulsechain, it's probably understated. But here we are. We've got Ethereum and 57% of the total value locked there on chain. So pretty huge, almost $50 billion of value there. Now, we've got obviously Tron coming up next, 8.63. Solana, number 3, 3.45. BSC at 5% is at 4.43 billion. And then you've got sitting in there Arbitrum after that second layer, of course, Ethereum 2.8 billion there as well. And Base Chain making the mix there at 1.58 billion, also second layer. So there. And Avalanche as well, 964, so just below $1 billion there. Then you followed by Polygon, 947 million. Man, we used to spend a lot of time on Polygon back in the day. And then Blast and Hyperliquid there, and then all the others, including Pulsechain, 11.33 billion out of that total market there. So that is the total amount. So you're looking over $100 billion in value there, right? So it's pretty cool. You can see that change over time, over 2021. Ethereum was really master dominant, right? 95%, and now it's down to 56%, right? So there's been a lot of growth, and that all started, in the last bull market, right? Pretty epic there. Now, obviously, that is assuming all the data at the time. Now, obviously, if we scroll down, we can scroll down further, we can find Pulsechain on the list, and it's sitting at number 25 at the moment. We have been much higher, of course, even in the top 10, I think, for a little bit. But here we are at 25, and it's got a total TVL of 276 million. So we've got a lot of potential upside, right? Just as we go, just to get into the top 10. We start heading into the billion, right? It's top number 6 there, Base Chain at the moment, 1.58 billion. So that's kind of the potential future up there for the Pulsechain, right? So get to billion, that's a 4x, let's say, just to do that. And of course, if we want to get up to like BSC, 4.4 billion and so forth. So that's a 12x, 13x from there. So that is kind of just a quick overview of that. Now, this is one way, of course, we've got potentiality for going up, right? That's where the market caps out, at the moment in terms of TVL locked and LP and things like that. But we've got a lot further chance to go up. Obviously, Bitcoin there, Ethereum at 50 billion. That's just one perspective on value, of course, compared to market cap and other things. So here we've got also, we've got the court case, right, just hanging over the head of Pulsechain, right? So if we go to the Pulsechain chart quickly, we can see here on the weekly, back here in July, 31st July, we had the SEC. The SEC kind of, in their legal papers, tried to make out that Pulsechain was worthless and all that was a wasted token, but it was because they crashed the price, right? So it was very mischievous. That argument will pop up in the court, no doubt, from Richard's lawyers, and they're the ones that did the big red candle, and we're still down at their value at the moment. So that is pretty interesting. Now we got Nuclear Herbs here giving us a legal opinion. Now it's quite a big brief, right? So I'm not going to go through all this. but I will post it in the chat there if you want to give it a full read. We do have a summary that was made, so we're going to read the summary. And of course, that was made by somebody else here, Genius. So we're going to quickly read his view. So if we can get, obviously, defeat the SEC, that adds a lot of value to the chain, a lot of kudos, particularly around the blockchain is free speech, right? Which Richard has added in and arguing for, right? So that's going to be huge. And of course, if you can get that in the law, like a judgment case on that, so to speak, then that's going to add a lot of free sheet support to blockchain and protect it even more from attacks from governments and things like that. So I think that's pretty cool. So here's a bit of a summary here. So the summary, the SEC's response brief lacks confidence. So obviously Richard Hart, we did talk about, we went through that the other day. Richard Hart's reply for the motion to dismiss. And of course, if we get this smashed in the court, that adds a lot of value to Pulsechain. Capital will flow back, right? Maybe not instantly, but it's definitely going to flow back as people go, oh, well, Richard Hart and Pulsechain, they're the ones that fought for free speech. They've really set some good precedent. Also, the chain's kind of like free now from harassment, and so therefore capital flow back and assets will go up. And of course, the magic carpet ride can play too, right? Especially if the ETH that is public knowledge goes back over $3,700, right? So that 107,000 ETH on the magic carpet ride. So that excludes other forms of funds, right? So like ETH AA and all that sort of stuff. So it's really, really quite positive to get rid of this. And we're actually on the front foot. And so I think the market's undervaluing Pulsechain on this basis, right? So let's go through this response here. I think it's pretty good. And we already saw a couple of days ago when we read about they had capitulated on Richard's alter ego. That was one of their arguments. And they pretty much dropped that, the SEC. That's a real sign of weakness, right? And that's just one of many. A lot of their positions just look like they were junior lawyers that just came out of university, and they just look so bad. So yeah, they were really clutching for straws there to try and get a case on Richard. They also, remember, they posted it out, they tweeted it out, remember, which was really, really weird given they hadn't done it for a lot of other ones. So it was pretty weak stuff. Anyway, so basically, summary: the SEC's response brief lacks confidence, unlike Richard's strong defense. And this really, Pulsechain is undervalued, right? The market is undervaluing it because here we are right back down with the SEC. Price levels back over in July 23 last year, and we're sort of back there. We're just slightly off the bottom, but that is completely undervalued from that point of view, especially given I think that they were heading the right way. But market doesn't like uncertainty, and maybe that's why it's just pushing that out. But maybe there's just a lack of clarity around how much stronger Richard Hart's case is. So let's go through this. The SEC's response, a brief lacks confidence, and I think that's huge going into the court to the oral hearings in October. Unlike Richard's strong defense, and I agree with that. Like even before Richard's response, we read the claims against Richard and Pulsechain and Pulsechain Next, and it was just written so poorly. Anyone that's a good writer, and I'm from that sort of background, you just look at it and you go, that's just poor. That's just poorly put together, and really weak. Honestly, you'd probably give it at best a C- or something. I mean, that's really, really, really bad. The court's role at this stage, the court isn't focused on truth or justice at this stage. Just where the SEC has enough to keep the case going. So that's the real key there. Does the SEC have enough to keep going in that case? They've got all these different arguments. How many of them are going to hold up? And really, they were really quite weak, all of them. So we'll say SEC strategy. SEC's goal is to avoid dismissal at all costs. So they want to try to avoid dismissal there and force a settlement. That's the other alternative, right? So that's the second best case, right? A settlement. As opposed to completely trying to get magic carpet ride money and all that sort of stuff. So we'll see. That settlement though could be pretty aggressive, so that could be a big problem. So we definitely want to get the case dismissed, not necessarily prove that their case is right now. All right, so not to prove their case right now. They don't have to do that until later on, right? So this is a case of dismissal. Motion to dismiss. Richard's team argues the SEC's complaint lacks necessary facts. 100% agree with that. SEC's response tries to add or modify facts. They did that too, showing a lack of confidence in their reply to dismissal, right? So they did that. A procedural reality, the judge must assume the SEC's allegations true for now, but this doesn't mean they actually are. Of course, we've got the oral arguments in October. SEC's weakness, the SEC reached outside its complaint, relying on weak declarations and irrelevant emotional points, which Richard's team easily dismantled. The outcome is uncertain, while motions to dismiss are rarely granted, so it is a bit tougher to do. I think there's extremely good case here. So Richard's argument on personal jurisdiction is strong and could lead to the case's dismissal. So even though it's rare, it is a good chance of it actually working there. Final thoughts, regardless of the outcome, the SEC appears to be on shaky grounds, and Richard's team is well prepared for the long fight. And of course, we know that if he loses the dismissal case, we might find that out maybe 30 to 60 days after the case. Then, it could be December or January on the outcome of the oral hearings in October. And then, we could then proceed on, right, depending what's left, what survived the dismissal case from the judge into next year. And they've got information discovery already pre-picked, right, for between March and June, right, next year. So that's when the full-on battle goes there, but they're prepared for the long fight if that is the case. And of course, they've got a lot of weak arguments anyway, right? So then you're going to get into all the facts and stuff like that. So there we go. That is kind of a summary there. Hope you guys enjoyed that. That is from these people here. I'll post the link if you want to read the full one from Herbs, which is summarized in that post. Strong case RH versus SEC dismissal, and you guys can dismissal, better spell that right? Dismissal. All right, so there we go, and that is it. So check that out. That is the link there. So yeah, we've got a lot of potential upside, obviously, with the TVL and with the market cap and everything else, total market cap and all the asset prices. But we've also got, I think, the actually realizing that with getting the SEC case is in our, really strong in our favor, I believe. I think that's going to be pretty good. We've got Archie, the head of the Don, and the Don head of the Protectorate with all the mafia families in the house. Big shout out to Archie, and doing an incredible job on X there, promoting mafia and, of course, the Protectorate with all its families, the syndicate, the hustlers, and all of them. So pretty cool. The Illuminati and the Yakuzas doing pretty well. All right, so that is that from that. And so therefore, is the Pulsechain market undervalued? I think so. And I think we've got a better chance people expect. And therefore, the asset prices right now with Pulse, down here, things like that are really good accumulation zones, right? You got to take a bit of probability and belief there. Now, timing is always the tricky bit, and maybe it's a bit later, right? Now, we've talked about also the U.S. election. If Trump wins, if he gets in, we've got a potential insurance policy because Trump's going to get rid of Gary Gensler, change the guard, get rid of the lawfare against crypto, and simplify regulation, make it really clear, and potentially drop a lot of their frivolous cases, like this weak case against Richard Pulsechain, Pulsex, and Hex. So that potentially is an insurance policy. So from a crypto point of view, that's why the election is so important with Trump, potentially winning. So that's the key. And we're looking much better at the moment. I mean, there's some really good stuff, some good moves being made by the Trump team. All right, so that's kind of where we are. Let's get into the Go Pulse. We've got day 472. Are we still in that day? Yeah, I think it's still on that one. And we've got Pulse here at the moment. Let me just refresh this. Yes, yeah, 472. So we just started day 473. So it's day 472. We've got quadruple 0364 on Pulse, down 1.5%. So not moving down that much versus the rest of the market. We're sitting at 36% of the main sacrifice price. Pulse at the moment is at quadruple 019, down 1.85%. With the buy and burn at the moment, 960 billion, 326 million. So 4.76% of all Pulse X has been burned out of the public supply. Incentive token, $1.81, down 2.4%. It is the ratio is still just above 50,000, so 50,049, and of course that means the ratio has gone down, but the price is also going down because Pulse has gone down by 1.54%. Total supply, 40,666,000 incentive tokens, and of course they're created from the Pulse XV1 farms. Hex at the moment on Pulsechain, we've got that at 45/100th of a penny, down 2.67%. So Hex the biggest loser today. With EHEX there down 1200th a penny, down from 1300th yesterday. Combined price EHEX and PX at 57, just under 5800th of a penny at the moment. So Hex is kind of the big steal there, and that is day 472. Let's go into the charts here quickly on the weekly. Now, we've obviously just talked about, I think, a lot of undervalued and upside. The other thing is, too, we might get other communities coming in. We get a lot of the DGNers moving chains. Maybe we might get some of them rotating into Pulsechain. Maybe through SolidX protocols, maybe through Mafia. Any killer app on Pulsechain may drive a lot of volume suddenly into Pulsechain as well. So there's always that out there. That's why it's so crucial that developers and the community just keep reaching out, that the influencers keep pushing out on Pulsechain and stuff like that. So that's another source of growth, right? Memes is, like the Tangang and other people just do, but on a more positive light, right? You've got to be pretty positive on that and things like that. So, it's a lot of work going on there. All right, so let's jump over to the Richard Hart response. Obviously, we just dealt with that with some commentaries about that response, and I agree with them. I think that's looking pretty positive. And then, of course, we've got the oral arguments coming up on 21st of October, 4th, of October. There's a weekly chart, right? So that's coming up as well. And then the US election could be our insurance policy if Trump wins there. Let's go to Pulsex. Pulsex at the moment, as you can see, let's go full mode on this. Pulsex chart on the daily is still looking very good. Like, we're on support line, so we obviously want to bounce off this, but we're still on that yellow support line, looking very good. We've got higher lows and all the rest of it. It's doing pretty well and a good accumulation zone. In terms of the ratio to Pulse, you can see that Pulsex has been going up against Pulse, and we're now over half a Pulse for every Pulsex you got. So that used to be really low, right? It used to be down at a quarter, so it's basically doubled, and we got 5 there. So not bad. And Incentive Token, of course, the ratio we know has changed, sitting at $1.81, and the ratio is sitting right in the middle of that channel, meaning that farming on Pulsex has been brilliant, right? Brilliant on Pulsex. But once again, any hindrance to that is always the whale class that own a lot of incentive tokens, because when we do get a breakout, they got plenty of incentive tokens to sell that have been accumulating into the pool. Just remember that. So yeah, it can have a solid, super breakout, no doubt about that. Especially if it breaks 71,000 Pulse, it could really go to the moon there, and you could see $10, $20 prices. But as you go up, of course, you've got all those whales with INC that may cash out. And remember, AMM pools are just a bucket of money. Don't confuse that. It's just a bucket of money, and of course we know it goes up as a square with the X times Y equals K formula for V2s, right? So just remember that stuff there. All right, so let's go to Hex at the moment. Hex, obviously, super good buy in my view. Undervalued here, 45/hundredth of a penny. What a steal to get so much volume down here right now. Really good opportunity. And EHEX to a lesser degree as well is also a good opportunity. But of course has the BankX wall at 0.7 of a penny, and also isn't the magic outright chain, right, from Richard's point of view, based on public comments. So that's kind of where we are at the moment. But EHEX has its own thing, can be lifted by the Ethereum price rally, and so but there's a little bit of its own thing going on there, and some rogue whales that like to trick people into that. So just it's a good accumulation zone. All right, so let's jump over to the Hex derivatives. At the moment, we've only got the Hedron on Ethereum that is positive, up 1.5%. Everything else is negative on the Hex derivatives, including the Maximus and the Cozy Hedrons. What else we got here? We're going to go to the stable coins. Nothing really happening here. PDI at the moment, 0.09 of a penny. That's down 2.2%, and LUSD down 3.7%. Let's have a quick look at LUSD. I don't think it's going to get anywhere near at the moment, so not looking that hot. And I think it's maybe Faith will run out of that because it's not really turning around. But PDI is still in the game. PDI is still in the game there, along with USDC, USD Tether, the speculative stables, right? So they're not pig stables. They're speculative, wanting to get up to there. So we'll see what happens there. There's still quite a bit of community in there. What else we're going to go to? We're going to go to projects. Actually, I haven't been in projects for a while. I haven't got all the projects on here because I lost my original list. But one I wanted to mention was the Greys. Been doing exceptionally well. I see that's one of the best ones on Pulsechain, and it's playing out that way. The Greys up 16% today. That's kind of where we are on that one. And moving to influencer coins. As you guys know, nothing on here is really pumping at the moment. The only thing I'll say is that SolidX is probably SolidX and No Token. I think two ones I particularly like. SolidX, of course, got the game coming. The Crash game is coming by the end of the year, is my expectations. So they've got to get audits and things like that. But that's coming from the DragonX team, and so SolidX is something you might consider picking up. Will Crash? It's going to be multi-chain as well. Will Crash there? Will it challenge the Mafia being the number one GameFi, DeFi projects? We shall see, particularly GameFi. But anyway, good, nice little accumulation zone there. Just edged off the top. I think it was up at $17.76 now, $16.83. Has been, of course, early on. Got up to $265 there. This is Randy Halasky's whale friend called Fire Whale, and he's a millionaire businessman. So that's kind of where we are on that one at the moment. So we will keep a check on that one. And that's from Eric, right, in the DragonX team. So building on that. So nice crossover there between Ethereum and Pulsechain. So worthy of attention, I would say. But once again, not financial advice. Do your own due diligence, all that sort of stuff. All All right, note token there sitting at 15 a penny, but both of those are down today. So a nice little retrace for people to get. Let's scroll over to the Pulsechain and have a look at the total overall values for Pulsechain, as we always do with our review. We've got 6.3 million in volume. This is weekday volume, pretty much the same what we had in the weekend on Sunday, right? So no difference there. And 141,000 transactions on the lower side, but that's pretty what we've been seeing these days around that volume and transaction level. PDCC at the moment, like I say, is at number one there and doing a great job and on a reclimb, right? But this is definitely one of the best, better ones there. Look at that. The last, these are dailies. This has been pumping the last couple of days. Big volume in today as well. Let's have a look at that chart overall. What's wrong with this chart? I've got some. Oh, it's INC. So it's an INC pair. I wonder why it looked a bit funny. We also got Cumamon there. It's only been around for 8 days, Cumamon, right? That's up 16.5%. Let's have a quick look at that. It looks like a bit of a meme coin. It's got a website. I haven't even checked it. That chart's looking pretty good. What's that? 170k liquidity, over $500,000 market cap. It's got 135 makers on it. Does it have any warnings on it? Well, it's got a lot of rockets on it, and it's got quick intel, no issues. So as a quick left. So look at the website here for Cumamon. We did talk about it yesterday. I never actually looked at it. So let's have a quick look. Cumamon, welcome to the world of Cumamon on Pulsechain. Hi there, crypto fans of Cumamon. And what is it? Straight from the heart of Cumamoto. Say goodbye to boring, say hello to blah blah. So we've got read away. What else we got on there? The website's having a little problem there. Straight from the heart. Token supply 20 billion. No founders allocation. That's good. No pre-sale. No tax. There we go. What we got there? Meme. It's a meme coin. Vibe phase 2. We're turning the fun up. Virtual dances. HODL. Hold tight. So pretty basic. Basically just to launch a meme coin there from the looks of it. And then they got some way to buy it on Pulsechain. So that's kind of cool. I don't know who's actually set this up. So if you do know, let us know. And there, but got tokenomics in there. So we'll quick look at tokenomics. That's it. So pretty simple. They made a big website about it, but not really complex, is it? Just a meme coin, really. We've got about pages of everything. No, nothing. Yeah, so yeah, nothing. It's just a meme coin. Basically what I can say. All right, so that's kind of it from there. It's certainly pumping up at $2 there. What else is looking pretty good? Let's jump over here. Alien, of course, up 13.45%. I think that's related to PDC grades. It's Alien, UFO, and PDC. I think that's three of them all together. What else there? Up token there for Liquid Lines front end. That's up 12.2%. So not bad there from Haunted. Well-known personality in the Pulsechain community. PLSP from Jacob's ecosystem is up 9.3%. In fact, I was waiting for an update. Let me just see. I've got this update in house yet. No. So we were talking about PulsePot, right? PulsePot counted up 60 days yesterday. That has not. We're expecting an update today. We haven't seen that yet. So that's another one of Jacob's ecosystems projects. He's the #1 GameFi dev on Pulsechain, and PulsePot already is up 9.5%. So nice little bounce there at 78 cents. And we're waiting for Pulse Predict, the other sports site, betting site, and that's got its own token, right? So we're waiting for all that. Hopefully we'll get an update there, and I'll update as soon as we find out. Thanks, Forky, for checking, by the way. What else? UFO, another PDC token, up 5% there. So UFO, Alien, and PDC, they're all together, if I remember rightly, on Alien. And WW, the meme coin, up 3%. Those kind of the mix there. So PDC and Cumamon, they're dominating on the Pulsechain today. So we've got a bit of action. There's a bit of action for people to get to. Let's have a quick look at the PDC grays, because I want to go to this one. I think it's the PLS, which will be a better chart. So look at that. That is the chart. So it really bounced nicely at quadruple 0.18. Is now quadruple 0.42. It's previous back up to this resistance area, and the all-time high is way up here at 3 zeros of 1. So still a lot of nice upside. Just get back to the previous top. That would be 152% to get back up there. That'd be pretty good. So far so good. Now we obviously have had this shimmering down. Let's see if it shimmers up there as well. So let's have a look at. You could probably get the RSI, and let's put the RSI. Let's have a look. RSI is in the oversold territory, overbought territory for the last 3 while. So you probably want to be cool here. Probably just wait for a pullback. If you can't wait, then you can just buy in here. But just a note there. The downside, right? So the upside 150%. The downside, based on recent history, is 57%. So remember that. So there we go. But the RSI is in the overbought territory. You definitely wanted that to cool down, right? It did bounce off here of 42 as well in the RSI. That's the play. Let's have a look at the 4 hourly. Give us a little chin here, overbought there at the moment. So tricky to buy here. Be careful if you were looking at that. You might want to wait till it cool down. What else? Let's look at the weekly on this one. Weekly way down at 57. So it's probably going to likely keep running. Good chance of that. But once again, probably having a cool down period now. As but some people can't wait. They just can't wait. All right. So that is the play there on Pulsechain. Let's have a quick look at Hex and see if we've got any data on Hex. No, we're missing a couple of days of data on Hex, so unfortunately I can't talk about that. Let's get into the rest of Pulsechain before I talk about PUSD Algo. That's another one of Jacob's ecosystems projects. Let's see here. We've got the gas prices. Have a quick look at that. Gas prices 299,000 bits. That's a bit higher than normal. Probably 2x higher. 4/10 of a penny for a Pulsex swap. 200th of a penny for a Pulsecoin transfer. 700th of a penny for a PRC twin transfer. Gwei is 1 Gwei on Ethereum, so 248 times cheaper than that, even with our beats probably twice as high as normal. And then let's have a look at some of the other stuff there. Validators, 48,443 validators, 1.55 trillion pulses locked away in those validators. Finally, the bridge. Now, we talked about the TVL, right, on the chain, and what was it, 268, 7 million or something. Well, the bridge is sitting at 93 million. I think we're down about 800,000 from yesterday, or maybe 700,000 from yesterday. So that's kind of where we are sitting there on the bridge. So that's going to be a key component to the upside, right, to revaluing Pulsechain, is getting those stables to work, getting more stables across into Pulsechain, and of course Magic Upright as well. Obviously, pretty key to that. So good SEC result, good developers and communities getting out there, building killer apps and communities, and also number 3, the Magic Upright, right? That is the 3 things that the pillars of Pulsechain success, I would say. All right, so let's jump over to the. I was going to look at lock coins. You just want to look at lock coins for a little bit. Currently locked 86 million, 86.5 million there, and of course we can see that 1.55 trillion of Pulse is locked in the validators. 717 billion of Pulse is locked in liquid loans, 26 million. And I know liquid loans getting quite a bit of flack there about capital's moving. Remember, they raised over $50 million, and they've had capital movement recently, I've seen. So yeah, let's see what happens in liquid loans here. Great team, professional. Disappointed on the Oracle, and they've certainly got the cash to do things. So looking forward to that. Now, they did, on a positive note, they were talking about having some sort of exit onboarding. Haven't seen anything yet, so we might try and do a checkup on liquid loans, see where they're at. I did have an interview with Crypto Crazy, the CEO, some time back. It was a great interview. We also talked about Liquid Loans 2.0 as well, along with Liquidity, because Liquidity's going for that, SEC 2.0 a stable coin as well. So yeah, and so we'll check that out. We've got the bridge at the moment, 49 billion pulsing in there. Fiat's got 48 billion. Fiat, of course, is a fork of Aave, and of course that's from the famous team, the PH team. And of course that's pretty much it. So I think we'll leave that there on there. Time Pays Me apparently has got 5.8 billion pulse in there. All right, so that is pretty much it on that. Let's jump over to PUSD Algo and talk about that. Before we do, let's get back into the chat and see who else has jumped in here. No one else, no other comments. So we've got a good crowd watching. So we'll get back into it and talk about PUSD Algo. Now, I haven't talked about PUSD Algo for a while. Obviously, we talked about Pulse Predict. That is supposed to be launching today. We'll see what it's say. We'll see if it gets delayed again. I don't know. But it had a 60-day delay already. That's the sports betting and I guess trader betting site. So we're looking forward to that to trade. But of course, we've also got PUSD Algo. Now, we haven't talked much about it. It needs to hit a certain capital requirement. That's why it hasn't really launched yet, as far as we know. And of course, Jacob's teams has been focusing on Mafia Game, on BNB and Pulsechain, been focusing on PulsePot and BNB Pot, and of course also Pulse Predictor, which may or may not launch very soon. We'll see what the update comes out from the Telegram. And here we're on PUSD Algo. This is the stablecoin. So we got 3 Liquidity fork stablecoins on Pulsechain from Liquid Loans and Power City, and we've got the Coast stablecoin backed by Fiat. And so we've got Pulse backed, Pulsex backed, Hex backed Liquidity forks. We've got Fiat backed Coast, and those are our stable coins. And of course, we're looking for we're looking for that scalability, right? What we call the stablecoin trilemma to bring capital into Pulsechain and create excitement that has good yield. And so we're looking at a Terra Luna type approach, which was huge, right, in the last bull market before it fell down. And of course, we want to look at that, but we want to have all the problems fixed up, and we want to have it fully decentralized, and that's where the PUSD algo comes into play. So it's been the sacrifice has been extended. Really, one of the main means. I mean, we've got a launchpad, Pulse launchpad now, but one of the main methods of the way Pulsechain has been working is followed on Richard Hart's lead with sacrifices, right? So that's what we've seen, and the PUSD algo and Jacob's projects are no different from that. So this is currently running. We can see that at the moment we've got the total sacrifice, including bonuses, at 443,000. So I don't know what the base amount of that, maybe 400,000 or something like that. Whatever it is, it needs to reach probably close to $1 million because they have to set up like 4 or 5 liquidity pools with multiple tokens that are on the platform. But this is pretty much where we are at the moment. So if you do participate in the sacrifice of PUSD algo, which I think will be an explosive, huge, giant stablecoin, should Jacob launch it and get launched, and it's still on his roadmap. He really wants to beast mode it, so we're waiting for that. Some more signals from him. But if they do get more capital into it, the chances that it launches sooner is much bigger, right? So that's kind of what we're talking about here. Now, in terms of what it does, basically stablecoin PUSD, which is a fantastic brand, and the other thing is it's not held back. So if you think about the liquidity forks, they have a lot of liquidations and things like that in them, so it limits the amount of capital that goes in. They also suffer from the cyclicals as well. So only so much Pulse, Hex, and Hex is going to go into them any particular point in time. And of course, we also Fiat has a certain amount limit as well. Whereas the PUSD algo has that DeFi component, the GameFi component, where people really want to get in there and FOMO, just like Terra Luna, but doesn't have the problems, right? So this is going to have full DeFi. There's going to be no humans involved. They're not somebody suddenly buying Bitcoin to put collateral. It's all set up so that bots and limit orders are all set up to support the stablecoin price, and the rest of the market almost operates separately in terms of getting yield-bearing investments in there. So we'll quickly have a look at it. This is the dashboard. It's only currently a mock-up of what they're actually going to have in the final thing. So you've got stability miners in here. So you basically, once it goes live, you'll be able to participate as a stability miner, and you'll be able to earn, right? So you've got the earn there on the right-hand side, the stability miners there. You're also going to have the different tokens in here as well, the supply and the 24-hour TVL and all sorts of things like that. So I'll also have a look at the stablecoin. Now, they were going to be looking originally at DAI, pegging PUSD, which is the new coin here, with DAI, but they're talking about actually pegging it with USDL, because then you've got that sort of double stability with the liquidity fork sitting in behind that. So that's one thing. Number two is when you go to mint PUSD, you're going to have to get another token that's within inside the system called Algo. That's why we call it PUSD Algo stablecoin there. And so you have to put Algo when it gets tradable in the market. So you'll have to swap Pulse or whatever else for that, and then you'll be able to issue your own stablecoin PUSD and use that as well. And the cool thing about this, you can just keep minting this out, right? Just keep minting this out, and you can just grow the stablecoin really, really big, and that just helps pump the Pulsechain, right, as well, and all assets. So it's pretty cool. Stability miner, of course, allows you to provide capital and get a return for providing capital to help the stability miners do their work, keeping the peg of the PUSD stablecoin. So it's pretty cool. You'll be able to select your different assets like that, put it in there for the amount of stability duration that you want to do, for how many hours, and then you're going to get a yield out of that, right? And different tokens, Algo, Wrap PUSD, which is the Wrap version of the stablecoin, and your Earn Flex. Now, Earn Flex is basically the platform reward. So every activity you do, you're always earning Flex. So it's pretty awesome. Like everyone likes these high yield platforms that add up your yields, and relatively modest risk taking to do it, right? That's kind of cool. So you'll be able to do that, park some good money in here and earn some good income. So that's what you can do there. Obviously, it's got the Earn tab, and of course you can actually do claims and things like that with the amount that you're earning. In this one here, you earn share of the trading fees on all PUSD Algo LP pairs. So you're going to have multiple pairs for that. Remember, they're going to have to set up at least 4 or 5 of those. And of course, you'll be able to stake as well. You'll be able to stake Algo and stake PUSD, so you'll be able to do that and make earnings as well. You'll see that they've indicated that the earning on Algo will be higher than the stablecoin, of course, which is pretty normal. Those are just indicative percentages. You'll also be able to redeem your stablecoin. So if you want to go put it back into Algo, you can do that as well. You'll also have a swapping side here as well to activity. Now, anything you do on here is going to earn you Flex tokens. That's the incentive token. So it is a multi-token ecosystem with a stablecoin. The stablecoin is going to be, innovative, frontier on DeFi. And of course, it's going to be automated. So automated bots keeping the stablecoin. And we did see a test of the stablecoin in the past, and it was fantastic. It also made money. It was way better than the stablecoins we see with the liquidity forks and so forth. Now, it was under modeling, so it had some centralized ones and some different random type of limit order bots operating. So just note that. You'll also be able to unwrap your rewards like PUSD, wrap PUSD, you'll be able to do that too. So that's kind of the play at the moment. They do have docs, of course. You can check out all the docs with all the details about the project, like go next level, and that's the play. Now, if you want to participate, there are two ways of getting it. You're going to remember have to be patient with the timeline, because obviously they've got to get up to that money, the close to $1 million or so to set up all LP pools. But we'll try and keep you abreast of that. So this is one for the longer term. They should really launch in the bull market, of course. So we'll be, we encourage Jacob and his team to do that. And at the moment, of course, we've got the leaderboard at the top there. That's the leaderboard. And we're going to take out an example. So if you want to participate in that, you can send your tokens to the sacrifice level here. You can already see we're already, it's already come a long way, but it's not quite there yet. And here is the sacrifice. So you send your tokens there, and it's more of a medium play probably given the timeline. And for every $1 that you sacrifice, you will get 20 Algo, 200 Flex tokens. Remember, Algo is the main coin main token on here, and then Flex is the incentive token that you earn by using the platform. And then there's a bit of wrap stable coin as well. You get a little bit of stable coin in its wrap form, right, which should be staked, and you can earn on that. That's kind of the play there at the moment. So how does it work? So just looking at some of these, if you use the link in the video description, you're going to get a 19% bonus. Now there's two ways, right? So you use the referral, you get a 9% bonus straight away. So if you did $100, you'd get $119 credit. So you can see this person here is, let's actually go down a bit further and have a look at some of these. Let me look at the good one here. This one here, number 8, is got a use 90% referral like the one in the video description, and they have grossed up to $10,961. So that was pretty good from them. Let me just do a bit of math here. So they have 10,900. That includes the bonus of 19%. Now that's the first bonus, right? Just using the link in the video description for the referral bonus. The second bonus you get is what they call a bonus X. All right, so that's in addition. That's going to be random. So I don't control that. You don't control that. It's going to be randomly generated only if you sacrifice over $1,000, right? So you can see over here, it's the second bonus. Sacrifice over $1,000, you get up to 2x multiplier. So this is where you can double your money from a sacrifice point of view for this platform. I think it's Jacob's best platform. I think it's the biggest one that can really scale. If you combine this with this, obviously a prototype at the moment, you combine this UI with good marketing and good influencer support, man, I think this will really fly. We've already seen, Mafia, was it 12, 13 influencers cover Mafia? And this is pure DeFi, this one, right? So Mafia is a GameFi. It is leading edge. It's going to be a huge game. But this here is huge DeFi, solving what they call the stablecoin trilemma. In other words, scalability, right? Scalability, and that means tons of funds come in. But like Terra Luna, how it got hyperinflated, but have a proper stablecoin DeFi, a decentralized stablecoin automated operating, and the prototype worked like a dream. So feeling pretty confident. Nothing's 100%, but feeling pretty confident about that, and so on. So just really important there. So you can get 2 bonuses. You get the 19% one if you use the link in the video description, and then you can also get a random generator if you do over $1,000. You'll get a randomly generated one between 1 and 2, I believe it is. I think that is 1.01 and 2 there. That's upper here, and that will give you extra bonus. So you can see this person here did 19%. They went from $10,961. They ended up being effectively getting a 1.62 random ratio given to them. So they ended up with a total sacrifice contribution of $17,756 in this particular case. And what did they get allocated? Well, they got allocated this allocated for every $1. And so you can see the allocation there. So they got 355,000 Algo, 3.5 million flex, and 177 wrap PUSD, which will earn them money if they leave it in there, right? So pretty cool like that. Now, if we go down, we've got 108 pages of people that sacrificed already. So there's a lot of people that have participated in this over the last, I think it's been about a year now or so thereabouts. Like I say, it has to reach the target of $1 million or so, somewhere around that ballpark. Now, whether Jacob contributes to this, so maybe we don't quite get there, but Jacob sort of takes some other funds of his and sets it up. That is what we're looking for. So we're going to see where he heads with this. He may also try to get other influencers to cover it, maybe like a crypto coffee or something like that, and that could really get this going. But this could be one of the killer apps on a Pulsechain, and of course solve that scalability problem in the trilemma, stablecoin trilemma, which is kind of the bit of the holy grail, right? So that's kind of where we are at the moment. So I'm just taking a look at some of these. Let's go to page 6, page 7. We can see that people who haven't got that. So this person here, they got a 90% bonus. They used the link in the video description. They got $973 inclusive of that. And of course, they don't get any multiplier, right? So it's just a 0. It's just a 1 multiplier. So if you got less than 1,000 with the bonus, you'll be under that. But now if you get to the bonus, right? So this person here didn't use a referral code. So that's crazy, right? No bonus, 19% bonus. So they missed out on $190 there. So they missed out on that. Not cool. But they did get a random generator because they did over $1,000 or 1.57. So don't be like this guy. Use a referral code. Links in the video description. And of course, yeah, that's just the way it goes. Now this person here, they're smart. They used a referral code like the one in the video description, 90%, and they got themselves over $1,000. So they qualified for the random bonus, the bonus X, what they call bonus X. And so they got that second bonus, and they ended up getting a 1.92, which is right at the top of the range. So well done to them. Hit rate, and they ended up with $1,937 for the sacrifice. So they got way more tokens, way more Algo Flex and Wrap PSD. Pretty amazing. So not bad there, not bad at all for that. Now this person here, they didn't use. Look at all these people here not using referral codes. Crazy. Could get 90% bonus, and they don't use a referral code, and but they just have the sacrifice itself 1,000 without that, but they do get a random generator bonus. These guys were all pretty lucky. 1.95, 1.88. They may have been early on because the chances of getting a higher rate was higher. It used to be like 1.5 to 2. Now it's 1.01 to 2. So the range has got bigger. Basically, your chance of getting towards 2 is a lot less than it used to be. But still, you'll get a random generator between there. So it's one way of doing it. Like I say, this person here may have done $880 or something like that, and he ended up getting $1,900 in credit. So over twice their money on that one. So pretty cool. That's how it works. The docs are there. You can read up the docs, but that is that we're backing it for the win, right? We're backing all Jacob's projects for the win. Obviously, a BNB pot, Pulse pot, Mafia on BNB on Pulsechain, and of course we've also got Pulse pot, Pulse prediction, which we're expecting maybe get some news about hopefully today, because the countdown finished, and now we've got PUSD Algo that's just sitting out there with its open sacrifice at the moment. So the closer we get to that target, $1 million, you can then set up all the LP pools, because it's probably going to take maybe about 200K for each LP pool, something like that. And you got to remember there's multiple tokens on here, Algo, Flex, and etc. And they all need to have adequate capital for it. And then also for the starting limit bot orders, right, to keep the stablecoin pegged. So that's going to be pretty cool. And of course, people are going to be able to provide capital for that when it goes live. So I think it's going to be pretty exciting to see this play out. So that's kind of where we are at the moment. We're going to try and get an update from Jacob about the overall status of this, but I'm very excited about it and full support. So that's why I like to cover this one. All right, so kind of cool. That is pretty much it on there. We're probably going to cover tomorrow. I'm going to probably cover more. I'm going to actually do another coverage of Titan X ecosystem. That thing is really about to take off. And if you're in our strategy club, you get updates about that on a daily basis. And so, yeah, don't miss tomorrow. I'll be covering the Titan ecosystem again, including a map of the overall ecosystem. It's going to be explosive over the next 3 to 6 weeks. So it's definitely something you wanted to catch up with me on tomorrow. We'll be spending a good amount of time on that, just like we did the other day. So I hope you enjoyed that. In fact, I had an interview with Dragon X, Eric, the other day. He's also building for Solid X. Remember that game, Crash game, which is going to be multi-chain. Could be huge. Maybe a killer app for Pulsechain as well. The more killer apps we get for Pulsechain, the more valuable it becomes ultimately. It attracts more users and more capital, and people can make more gains. That's pretty much it in crypto. All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed today's live stream, and I did, and we'll catch you then. Let me see here. Let's play a cool video on the way up. I will catch you guys again tomorrow for Pulsechain and Titan X update. How about that? That's what we're doing tomorrow. Let's play out some cool music, though. Should we play some music? Let's play the old Hex song, eh? All right, take care, everybody, and bye for now. Peace out. Accumulate, accumulate, accumulate. Pulsechain is undervalued. All right, bye for now. No financial advice, due diligence, all that good stuff. All right, bye for now. It's all these disclaimers. It's crazy. All right, bye for now. See ya. Seriously, I'm going.
It's fun to watch Hex pumping up the charts. It's left behind all kinds of broken hearts who didn't buy the dip, who didn't DCA. And now that we're on a rip, it's hard to look away. Now I'm not the one to hand out free advice, but as for me, I wouldn't dare think twice about buying a bag, since we're still somewhat down. This rocket ship's about to break the speed of sound. You know these wheels are starting to roll. Best to sit back and just enjoy the show, 'cause we're about to ride that train into the heart of Hexaco. I tip my hat to everyone who minds. You're getting paid out while you're killing time. It makes room for a nice vacation to the beach, perhaps a celebration now that you are rich. Ha. Ignore the haters who all called you crazy. You studied hard while they were being lazy. Now you're packing bags, about to take a ride up on that rocket ship, mooned up and starry-eyed. I feel these wheels are starting to roll. Best to sit back and just enjoy the show, 'cause we're about to ride that train into the heart of Hexaco. Now that we're summer bound and the sun is bright, I see that it's not round but rather has 6 sides. It's a work of art that's written into code, designed by Richard Hart to make our bags explode. You know these wheels are starting to roll. Best to sit back and just enjoy the show, 'cause we're about to ride that train into the heart of Hexaco. Yeah, we're about to ride that train into the heart of Hexaco.